In today's video, we are talking all about the highs and the lows and the in-between of being an Enneagram Type 4. If you're new here, I'm Hillary. I'm your certified Enneagram life coach, and I love teaching you guys the Enneagram in the simplest way possible. And before we dive into who the Type 4s are, I just kind of want to say thank you guys so much for showing up to my last video and encouraging me and being there for me. If you're new here and you don't know what I'm talking about, well, I'm talking about why I took a break from YouTube. That's the video. That was my last video that I put out there, and I really talked about mental health and comparison and all of those things that can rear its ugly head in all your areas in life, but especially in YouTube and being a YouTuber. So if you haven't given that a watch, go watch that for a little update of where I've been. But I just wanted to say thank you to all of you that did watch it and showed up for it and left me amazing comments. I'm so blessed by this community. You guys made me feel extremely special, and I really appreciate all you guys. So, all right, let's go ahead and dive into today's video all about that Enneagram Type 4. So who is the Enneagram Type 4? Well, they're the dreamers. They're unique. They're intense and honest and authentic, can be moody, they have big feelings, they are introspective and creative and sentimental, and there's so many words to describe the Type 4, but that's a little bit of who they are. And they're the individualists. That's who the Type 4 is. They want to be special and unique. So the Enneagram Type 4s, they really do see themselves as completely different from other people. They feel set apart, they feel different. They are highly attuned to their emotions, like extremely attuned to them. And this really allows them to experience everything just deeply. Like, you know, as deep as it gets, they can experience all the emotions, happy and sad and just all of them. Being attuned to their emotions gives them that ability. And one thing I was thinking of as I was kind of, trying to plan this video, I was thinking, to me, the 4s are, if you've seen the movie Divergent, I'm sure you've probably even heard this before, but they're the dauntless to me. They're the ones that were like, I don't fit in. None of those fit me perfectly. So I'm going to go over here and make, my own group or be set apart or whatever. To me, that's, who the 4s are. And I think they're amazing. All right, so let's go ahead and dive into the highs and lows and the in-between. That's what I want to really discuss today. And to me, this is going to be more about kind of like a levels of development, levels of health, levels of self-awareness, the highs, the lows, and the average, the in-between. That's what we're discussing today. I'm not doing like arrows or anything like that. This is more of just who they are. This is just more of those levels of that the 4 can be and experience. And so for me, the highs, it's the best part of you. It's the healthiest stage. It's who you are at your best. It's who you are in that healthy space of life. And, and I do want to just say before we dive into the healthy and essentially the average and the low, that you're gonna experience all of them. We don't just like stay at one, because things come at us daily and things happen, and it's okay to fluctuate. It's okay for those to be fluid, and for one day for you to be like, gosh, I'm not really living at my best today, or another day you're like, yeah, I'm feeling pretty low today and this is where I'm at. That's okay. The goal is for you to learn all of this so that you understand where you're at in that day, and you can identify and want to go move up and go towards the healthiest version that you can be. That's why I teach this. So some words that would describe you as a 4 at your healthiest, I would say you're creative, you're sensitive, you're emotionally attuned. I think I've already said all of those to describe you. I would say you really seek meaning in everything in life, and you're really trying to discover the meaning behind everything. There's just a lot of depth to you. You're extremely self-honest at this point. You're able to look inward. You're able to have that self-awareness and understand who you are. You're genuine, you're honest, you're introspective, you're, just inspiring. So those are just some of the words I would use to describe the 4, in their high zone. Okay, so the high side of the 4s, the highly self-aware 4s, I would say they're inspiring and intuitive and wise, and they're able to help other people. They have a high level of emotional intelligence when they're around other people, and they help others with that. They find meaning and understanding of their own visions, and they they do something about them. They move forward. They take a step forward. They don't get stuck in just the visionary process. They kind of like manifest towards creating those visions, and they move forward within them. They have an appreciation for their own sensitivity, but also others. They really appreciate other people. At this level, they have high empathy for other people. They're true to themselves. They really develop this ability to turn any of their emotional experiences into things that have value and different areas like that. At this level, they understand that they're different and sensitive and self-aware, and they're okay with that. They accept themselves for who they are. Their basic desire to find themselves and who they authentically are is achieved. They really do find themselves and understand who they are and accept who they are. Everything about them, they're more accepting of themselves. So that's kind of like the high side of the 4. And then moving down to the average side of the 4, we also call this like an autopilot type of thing. This is where all types really kind of can live here if they're not doing any work on themselves. They can kind of sit and average a lot. And so I would ask yourself, as you're listening to me with the highs and averages and the lows, where are you at? Where have you been? Where are you going? Where do you want to go? Where do you, write this stuff down. Have this stuff help you understand yourself better, to help you have these like self-awareness flags, and go, oh, that's where I'm at. Okay, I don't want to be here. I want to move here. How do I get there? And so just be processing as I'm teaching this. Moving to the average space, this is where the 4 really internalizes everything. They really internalize everything. They start to retreat into their own imagination and their own world. They really withdraw more. I think at their high side, they're moving forward. They're going after what they're meant to be. And the average, they kind of withdraw and they kind of live more in their heads and in an imaginative world place. And it feels safer to them. And this is where there's more of a mild loss of awareness. They're doing more of the things that they fall back on, the more predictable patterns in their life. That's where you're at in this average. At an average level of self-awareness, 4s are still passionate. They're still creative. They're still self-aware, but they start to begin to be a little bit more self-critical of them, of themselves and other people. They tend to take things a little more personally instead of seeing the whole picture. Their sensitivity, is ignited, and they can take things personally. It's not a bad thing. Like, all of us do that, but that's where I'm like, when you're in those moments, I would love you to stop and ask yourself, is this really about me right now? Or is this about the other person? Things like that. That will help us go back towards the high side. When we can identify what's actually going on. But then sometimes it is going to be personal, and I understand that too. At this level, they're more at the could be, what could be in life. Not going after it, but like they're more like, oh, I wish this would happen, and oh, I wish that could be. I think, and it's just like, but not seeing any action. And I would say like they're a little bit more moody, a little bit more self-centered, and more, thinking about things and different things like that at this level. They tend to start worrying that people aren't going to appreciate them for who they are. And some of that is, rightly so, I would say. But other times it's, maybe it's just a worry. And that's where, as a 4, you can ask yourself, like, is this a real thing? Or, or am I just feeling unappreciated? Is there something in me that's just, feeling unappreciated right now? And also at this level, I'd say maybe they're feeling like they're missing out on life, like they're never going to achieve what they want to achieve or anything like that. They're afraid that they're truly missing out, or truly something in them is missing, and feeling not good enough, and different things like that. And so then we move down to the low side of the 4. And I would say the low side of 4, this is where the 4 kind of can become ashamed, of themselves and how they feel about themselves. And they might detach completely from other people and withdraw for a long time, sit in their sadness for a long time, and all of these things. It's okay. Well, I mean, I coach other types to, hey, I need you to sit there. But the 4s, where I coach is like, I want you to sit there and process, because that's what makes you you. But I also don't want you to sit there forever. I don't want you to, set up a camp and a tent and a chair and, everything, because you're just going to sit in the sadness for a really, really long time, because that doesn't it doesn't serve you well when that happens. But again, I do like that you guys process everything. I truthfully would love to be able to process emotions as well as the 4s can. But like with everything, what's our greatest strength can be our greatest weakness, right? And that goes for all types. And just with the 4, it's your greatest strength is being able to sit with emotions and feelings and no matter what they are, but it can become that greatest weakness where you can't move forward and you sit too long. So that's what I'm saying. And at this level, 4s might start to fear that they're wasting their lives. And sometimes they might be, I guess, according to them, right? And so they start to think, maybe everything's a waste and what am I doing with my life? And then also I would say at this level, the lower side of the 4, they might sabotage things. They might sabotage themselves. They, be looking for that. Are you your own saboteur? In things where, you can be going after things and be doing things that you really want to. And then all of a sudden you get afraid, maybe it's not going to happen or whatever fears rear their ugly head. And then instead of it going wrong, like you think it might, you sabotage the whole thing just before it can happen. I don't know if you're a 4 and you've experienced that, but sometimes that can happen. And then, that self-awareness in this low side of the 4, they really, really start to compare themselves to others and come up short in their own mind. And, I hate it when I see that happen, of that comparison, because, what makes the 4 different and beautiful is who they are, and that there is no one else but them, and that there's only one of you in this world, and we need you to show up as you are, But like all of us, just be working on yourself to just be the best version of yourself. Not the perfect version of yourself, not like everybody else, no. Just the best version of who you want to be and what that looks like. At the low level, they might really have high highs and low lows and just have big moods at the lower level. You experience, the fear of missing out, not being enough or envious or any of that, but it's just more excessive. It's just more, like deeper. It's more like you can't move past it type of thing. So all that to say, those are the highs. Those are the average, middle, whatever we want to call it. Those are the lows. Just a little bit of what it's like to be a 4. And just so you know, it's okay, whatever level you're at, it's okay. Just, let today and whatever struck you, whatever spoke to you, write it down and work on it if you want to be the best version of you, because I know I know 4s really desire to show up complete and whole in who they are and set apart and unique, and all of those things can work together. And so I'm here to tell you, go after what you're meant to do. Show up to your own life, because when we show up to our own life, we bless others. It's really our purpose, right? And so I'd love to know in the comments below, what are your dreams? What are some things that you haven't told anybody? What are some things that you're like, I wish I could, but no, not me. Let me know. What do you dream? What do you want to do? What should you be going after? What is in alignment with, who you are? I'd love to know. So, and so that I can cheer you on, and that we all as a community can cheer each other on and want the best for each other. So that is it for today. That was the highs and the lows and the in-between of the Enneagram Type 4, the individualist. I hope it helped you. I hope it, just brought some awareness and some, learning to your life and help. That's all it's meant to do. And there's a lot more to levels of development, levels of health, highs and lows, whatever we want to call them. There's so much more information out there on them, but I wanted to just give you a bite-sized, simplified version of what that can look like, so that you can bring it into your everyday and use it. But I think that's all I have. If you guys liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. That means so much to me, and it helps my video reach other 4s. And I really appreciate that. And if you're new here, push that subscribe button. The next big series I'm gonna be doing is all about the wounding childhood messages of your type and each other type. So subscribe if you want more information on that or anything else. I have so many videos out there for you if you are new here. I have individual type playlists. So go find your type and just devour it and use it to understand yourself and the people in your life better. Until next time, guys, bye.